If you or your loved one is impacted by diabetes and have questions, the Barbados Diabetes Foundation has the answers.
It's always easier to reverse diabetes, certainly control it properly and avoid complications if you at least know that you have it.
So it's just again to re-emphasize the importance of good diabetic care. And diabetic care involves really almost every part of the body. So it's your feet, your heart. But again, we're coming back to what our main focus is at this time is the eye care.
The Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located in Warren, St. Michael, is your source of diabetic care. You can reach them by calling 243-EYES, 243-3937 for more information.
Welcome to another Saturday morning on VOB 92.9 FM, and welcome to 9 o'clock as you are about to hear 15 of the most healthiest minutes you'll ever hear on VOB. And when these minutes finish, you're going to be saying,
"Well, he didn't joking. Them minutes was real healthy for true."
All of this with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, and Republic Bank. The power to make a difference. Good morning to Larry and all of his wonderful friends who are listening. You know me, Peter the Voice, and once you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, you should know about the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located conveniently in Warren, St. Michael, close to a bus stop, and you just walk a few feet away behind the Morris Gibson Polyclinic, and there you will find the Diabetes Center. So don't be saying,
"I ain't got a cure and I can't get it there."
Because you don't need a cure. All you need is bus fare for you to reach the Diabetes Center and have access to all of the diabetes services that you need. Diabetic retinopathy. You know that once you're diabetic, you need to get your eyes checked for diabetic retinopathy every single year. Every single year, you know. Don't talk about you missing years. Call 243-3937 to make an appointment to get your eyes screened, and then they have vascular screening. If you find that your feet swelling up, your feet can't fit in your shoe like it used to, if you find that you have what Bajans refer to as bad circulation, you might need a vascular screening. 243-3937. Remember, once you're a BART member, you get 10% off all of these services. All of this compliments the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. There's a wealth of information that's waiting for you at this center. And one of those information sources is Dr. Michelle Lashley. So you are now about to hear from UWI Head of Department of Clinical Sciences and Consultant Pediatrician at QEH and Clinical Manager of the Ian Woosnan Type 1 Diabetes Registry Project, Dr. Michelle Lashley. So as a pediatrician, I asked Dr. Lashley, how can having diabetes-educated staff in schools help diabetic students? And she said,
"We think that education is probably one of the biggest things that we can help schools with, either through their social workers, their guidance counselors, or otherwise, or even in sometimes what the physicians or the caregivers will be encouraged to do will be to have sessions with maybe the parent-teacher associations so that both staff as well as other parents will be aware of how these children who have a chronic illness will be managed throughout the school day. The school staff should be aware of the symptoms, as I said, of low blood sugars and how this should be managed. And even with older children who are independent and managing their care, they may still need some supervision of their mealtime and activities, because some, particularly an abnormal blood sugar, either very high or very low, will affect the child's ability to think clearly and to manage their condition appropriately. So the teachers really should be aware of what some of these symptoms look like, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in another little bit later on, about what kind of things they could be looking for in the school day. We also have to consider that the student has a right to full inclusion despite their diabetes, especially the adolescents. These older children and youth don't want to be singled out in a way that will make them feel embarrassed or have a stigma to make them look different, but they still want to participate in all activities that their peers may be doing. And the school should encourage this, giving these children and youth that safe space where they can manage their care, and the schools may may then have to allow these children to have the use of maybe the sick bay, if there's one in the school, a school office area where they can manage their blood taking or managing their insulin administration, and even a counselor's office if needed, so that they can go without looking as if that they are slightly different or doing something different than the other peers. Unfortunately, because of the continual health care that's needed for any chronic illness, some students may have to attend regular health visits. And the other thing the school can do to help support these children is to make sure that they are allowed out during the school day if needed for their healthcare visits, and the school attendance policy should not penalize students if they have to have regular appointments when their diabetes care maybe need a little bit more intensive management. So in order for schools to participate in these kind of activities and support, as I said, the staff need to be educated a little bit about diabetes. And sometimes there are myths that our general population may have related to diabetes in schools. And I just wanted to mention a few points that might be helpful for when teachers are thinking about they have a new child who may have diabetes in their school. What actually happens to them? What does this really mean?
Thank you, Dr. Lashley. As we continue on the Maria Holder Diabetes Radio Show on VOB, this morning we are hearing from the doctors. We go from one doctor to the next. Next, we are going to Dr. Damian Henry, who has been diabetic for 30 years, so he knows what he's talking about. And this morning, he's talking about the Ian Wooston Diabetes Registry. You hear about the Ian Wooston Type 1 Diabetes Registry? No? Well, you should know about it. And possibly, you might even need to register with it too. But how would you know that? We asked Dr. Henry, why should persons register with the Ian Wooston Type 1 Diabetes Registry? And he said this.
That's an excellent question. No, as I said before, there are not many Type 1 diabetics out there. And the challenges associated with being a Type 1 diabetic are vast and different from most persons who are Type 2. First thing, you are diagnosed, most Type 1s are diagnosed at a very young age. And you have to learn to cope with your disease as well as, grow up and manage throughout life. Type 1, the registry, the Muslim Type 1 registry, provides a wealth of resources for persons who are Type 1. You get support with your medications and stuff like that, your insulin, monitoring devices, and it provides, the antibody screening that we talked about, the antibodies that we talked about, we had free testing for that as well. And it gives you support in terms of connects you with a body of individuals who can actually help you through your process. A number of persons, when it was diagnosed over 30 years ago, the resources to help Type 1 diabetics were not there. I give my personal experience in that a number of individuals who were diagnosed with me in the same cohort, I am the only person from that cohort who's alive, and that's scary. And this is something that I've seen repeated over the years, while working I started my residency in pediatrics. I started there working as a doctor over the last 20 odd years. You're seeing persons who are Type 1 diabetic not making it, and we want to make a change. We want to see these persons, doing well, living for 30 plus years, enjoying life, and not having the complications associated with diabetes. And by joining the registry, that gives you tools to, make sure that this happens and, you can survive and live well. My main thing is basically to encourage all the Type 1 diabetics to look after themselves and to take hold of the availability of whatever is there, talk to your doctors, your healthcare professionals. And one of the most things is basically in terms of Type 1 diabetes, mental health is important. Understanding, yes, you can do everything that, is out there to be done. As a diabetic, I played volleyball for the university, I played for schools, I was always very active. But you have to allow persons to know that, you have these problems and stuff like that. And if you're feeling down or sad, you need to talk to somebody, because it's not easy. The days where you have struggled, the days where, your blood sugars are not going to be where they should be, the days you're not going to feel well. And when you become ill, you don't handle things the same way how everybody is. So just looking after yourself and partnering with the help that you have. If you do that, you will have a good outcome. If you don't, things will not go as well. So word to the wise is sufficient, and I like to encourage everybody out there, look after your health, whether you're Type 1 or Type 2.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. That's some good advice. Look after yourself, whether you are type 1 or type 2 diabetic. So you need to look at yourself in the mirror, take a good look at your reflection, and commit to looking after yourself. So you at home listening to VOB, you need to take a good look at yourself in the mirror, look at your reflection, and commit to looking after yourself. And that's my segue into our song of the day. A finalist in the Crop Over Competition 2023. This is one of the popular songs for the season. This is Cooper Dan with Reflection. Compliments the Maria Holder Diabetes Center and Republic Bank.
Yo, yo, yeah. See this one for the man in the mirror, huh? The girl in the mirror, yes, you in the mirror. When I look in the mirror, I don't see a perfect man, no. I just see a trying man, and I just see an honest man. Now take a look in the mirror. Be proud of your reflection. Everybody has their story, that's why you shouldn't judge no one. People ain't easy, they change like the weather, and I can't trust another man. And the music has stressed me, I singing all kind of song, and still I can't catch a hand. But I know who job bless.
Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243 Eyes 243-3937 to find out how you get your simple digital eye screening done.
That I know who I am when I look in the mirror. That is me in the mirror. Yes, I know who I am when I look in the mirror. It's me I see in the mirror. Inside the mirror, that is me in the mirror. Ha! Inside the mirror, I see a reflection of me. The landlord is breathing, every time you blink is rent, and I can't keep up blinking cent. But me children in hungry, no way. Jason Jamaya so blessed, and I can say that with my chest. Cause I know who job bless, no man curse. Sometimes I get the best man, he has got to take the worst. I am so blessed.
Book your vascular or ABI screening test today by calling the Maria Holder Diabetes Center 243-3937.
Who I am when I look in the mirror, that is me in the mirror.
Once you have reached 50, you need to go and get that check done. It's peripheral artery disease. It's a simple test. It's called an ABI test. What they're looking for is to see the blood flow in your lower extremities. And I can't stress enough the importance of getting this test done. I'm glad to know that the Maria Holder Foundation is offering this. You know, individuals need to go and get that test done. It's a simple test. It's all external. Again, it's like taking your blood pressure on your lower extremities.
The Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located in Warren St. Michael, with their diabetic eye screening program, offers a standard of service that equals or surpasses any you might receive internationally. So if you're a diabetic or pre-diabetic and listening to your radio right now, you need to make an appointment and get your eyes screened by calling 243-3937 to make that appointment. In addition, there's now a new vascular service that is the centerpiece of a national campaign that will highlight the discovery of early circulatory problems in the limbs and extremities of at-risk persons. So if you are having vascular or circulation problems, call and make an appointment at 417-5980 or 243-3937. The last 15 minutes you heard on VOB was brought to you with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, and Republic Bank. Until next time, take care of your eyes.
Did you know nearly 1 in 5 adults in Barbados have diabetes? Did you know diabetes is one of the leading causes of vision loss in the world? Regular eye screening can save your eyes. Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937.